Living in the Sierra Nevada means living with the ever-present risk of wildfire. Reducing the risk of fire was the goal of a recent forest thinning project SMUD conducted near Camino.
This is the kind of forest, brush, and undergrowth that we're trying to eliminate here at Iowa Hill. This stuff is bone dry and ready to light.
SMUD owns 86 acres at Iowa Hill, next to Slab Creek Reservoir along the South Fork of the American River. It could be an ideal spot to build a new reservoir and produce more clean hydroelectric power. For years, we've been studying the possibility of a pumped storage project. We've also met with residents of El Dorado County to explain the proposed project and listen to their concerns about it.
When we reached out to the local community, one of the biggest concerns we heard was fire risk. That building a project like this would create a huge fire risk that made them very uncomfortable. We listened to that, we understood the concern, and we decided that one thing that we could do in the near term was to thin the forest and reduce the fuels that could start a fire.
Late in 2013, we began thinning the forest on our land on Iowa Hill. One of the key objectives was to clear out dense stands of manzanita and other undergrowth.
These smaller fuels, these brushy materials, create a very intense fire at the base of these trees. It allows the fire to race up into the crowns of the trees, and if it's densely forested and you haven't done the thinning work that we're doing here, it really does create a potential for these fires to race from treetop to treetop.
To thin the forest, SMUD hired Mountain F Enterprises, a logging company from the town of Lotus. More than 400,000 board feet of timber was sold to a mill in Lincoln, which helped pay for the project. Commercial loggers usually pile up the trees that are too small to sell and burn them during the rainy season. But SMUD chose to convert these slash piles into wood chips. More than 100 truckloads were sent to the Buena Vista Biomass Power Plant in Ione, and SMUD is buying the renewable energy produced from the chips. SMUD donated some of the wood chips to the Apple Hill Growers Association so that farmers could use them to mulch their berry crops. After the timber harvest, we gave local churches more than 40 cords of oak logs that had no mill value. After the wood dries, it will be distributed to low-income families in El Dorado County for home heating. After the clearing of brush and scrawny trees on Iowa Hill, the trees that remain face less competition for sunlight and moisture. The forest is healthier and less susceptible to catastrophic fire. That's good news for people in the area.